To the edge, pressure the edge.
No, I mean, if we can, yeah, if we can get someone towards the edge, but I mean, we gotta make something happen. We have to work from the beginning. 30 seconds, 20 seconds is a long time, right? And Sarah and Melinda and Nicole, they've heard me say it a million times, like, 20 seconds is a long time. You have time to work. You don't have time to waste.
Terry,
Right?
can
Yeah.
I tell them? Okay, so, one thing that I think would have really helped if you guys wanted, that Terry put us through this, and this was when we were training for World Championships and the Olympics. We had 3-minute overtime, so for 9 minutes, he broke it down into 20-second increments, and you had to score. If you scored in those 20 seconds, then you got to reset the clock, and then it went to you waited it out, went to the next 20 seconds. And I think that taught me more than any amount of everything else that I did, that if there's 20 seconds on the clock, I can do it repeatedly when I'm the most exhausted. It was always on me. And so that's something like that he did with us. I think that is the most perfect way to train. If you were the person getting put on the shot clock and you need that score in order to win the match in those tight matches, that putting us under that pressure, because it was before some of our big tournaments, and putting us in those time crunches and everything like that, that was probably one of the best things that Terry ever did for me, being confident that I could score in a short time when I was exhausted.
So think about a 6-minute match, right? 2-3-minute periods. But really, that's not how the match is. Even how the referees call it, right? They have at a minute. If there's no score, they're stopping. They're giving someone a warning. They're starting again. Then 30 seconds later, if nothing happens, they're stopping it again. There's no flow, right? There's no flow there. You've got it's a stop and start type thing. So the situation that she's talking about is we would break the match down into 18 30-second periods, right? And if they scored in the first 5 seconds, second period's up. Now, okay, get reset, shake hands, go again, right? Someone scores in 10 seconds, reset, the third one starts, right? And it teaches us also to have a short memory, because whether you were just successful or whether you just failed, it doesn't matter. There's another one coming. You have to score again. Or maybe it's someone that's struggling with just defending and shutting someone down. Put them in a defensive situation where they just have to shut someone down and have two. Now I would have 2 people on me, right? So those people are fresh, and someone fresh is coming after. I'd put them something like that where it's going to be a little bit more strenuous if they're on the defensive side of it. But it's a great drill, okay? And I have to credit Coach Gable did that a lot with us when we were in college. And it was always like before the major competitions, the Big Tens and the National. It was a very short, and that workout lasted like 30 minutes. You came in, you got warmed up, you went through the 20-second period match, and then you did a few conditioning things at the end, and it was over. Right? It wasn't taxing, but it was high intensity, and your lungs were blowing out, but it wasn't wearing you down. So,
Good pressure situation.
yeah, and it was mentally you had to be in the right mindset to make it through it, and you had to let go. The idea that probably you're going to score 18 of them is probably not so realistic, right? But you had to let it go. And you couldn't get pissed off about what just happened. Win or lose, you had to let it go and move on to the next one. And it was a great reset mechanism, for us as well. So we use it a lot towards the major competition for people. But short situations, I think, is a must, right? But not every day, right? You also need the long period, the 20-minute period, the 15-minute period where people can play, right? Where people can make a mistake and it's not going to cost them a match, right? Because it can't always be about winning and losing in this wrestling match, right? Like I talked about at the beginning, it has to be fun here, right? Not every day can be a high intensity day like that, right? And because it's not a lot of fun to you, right? For either person.
Say one more thing. The other thing that all of us should be aware of is the way the Europeans look at this. So when someone goes on the shot clock, tactics change. We don't do a good enough job of changing tactics. So Terry was demonstrating when that guy's on the shot clock, he's tying him up. We call that the tactic of binding. Okay? And maybe when I've got 20 seconds, and it's like, he knows what my best shot is. He knows what I'm gonna do. And I have to do it in 20 seconds, for crying out loud. So maybe what I need to do is I need to change my tactics. Okay? Instead of just going like that, now it's when I fake my main shot and then change off to the next thing. And yeah, I should be tough enough to go get him with my best shot, like going through Hades, you know? But when you get to the best wrestlers in like anywhere, you get the best wrestlers in the whole world, try that with Sadio. Yeah, I'm just gonna, 20 seconds, I'm gonna just keep shooting my best shot on you. You ain't going nowhere, right? But if I do that, you know, or maybe I always use this as an example. My best shot's a fireman's carry, you know, so I shoot a fireman's carry all the time. I almost got that fireman's carry. Now I'm on the shot clock, so I go boom, and then I arm drag. And he sprawls. That means he loses mobility, the principal maneuver, and I capitalize on that because I'm on my feet. So I run around behind him. So the things I would encourage you guys to do, be creative and have fun with this, but you should have like a game plan. It's part of your strategic thinking that I can change tactics. You don't have to wrestle the same way all the time. I can change tactics anytime I want to. And there are like 7 different tactics, different approaches I can use, you know. And it's fun to play around with them, but they give you the flexibility, you know, and the adaptability.
Questions?
So with the coach, with the growth of women's wrestling, a lot of times in the high school rooms when we're doing this, we grow. Wrestling fundamentals, and I know it's until talking about this different physiological aspects of it. Girls and boys in the same room, right? Are we doing a disservice to that? Is it something that you see at the highest levels of women's wrestling, men's wrestling? Is it the same freestyle program and tactics and moves that you're drilling with the girls, with the women on that high level as the boys? Is something we need to adjust in our rooms?
I don't think you can ever get too much into basic technique, right? I mean, everyone needs refreshing and just refreshing the mind and basics. A portion of your practice for sure can be just the basics, you know, and even if there's that, you know, 50-year senior that won 2 state titles already, they're still gonna be important to go through the basics and be refreshing, right? Maybe have them teach it, right? If they're feeling bored with it, put them in front. You show them, right? Engage them a little bit, right? So I think that's a way to get them involved. If they're kind of checking out mentally, let them show. Let them engage. Let them speak and articulate it to the younger athletes or something like that instead of your coaches sometimes, right? I think that's a way to engage them in a way that otherwise they maybe wouldn't have. Now I think they're either gonna understand it, maybe I don't know it as good as I think I do, because I can't articulate it, right? Or maybe they do a great job of it, and now you know they understand it, right? But if they can explain it and break it down and articulate something, I think, then you got it, right? Then you have them engaged, right? And so I would do it more like that than try to push them into that square peg and you gotta do this, like, I would say it's gonna engage in a different way. But I wouldn't shy away from the basics. I mean, I think that's all we focus on. A lot of times is our basic stuff, right? And then individually, I'll go work with Sarah on something that she specifically is having an issue with. But when it's a team, you know, we're focusing on the basic fundamentals of, you know, offense or defense, whatever it is.
Coach, I have a question for you. In our area, in the Ohio Valley, me and Coach Chris here are really growing women's wrestling. And I noticed that we're having an issue, I guess it's kind of an issue of transitioning, because in our area it's remotely folk style. And our girls, we have some really tough girls that we started them when they were little, and now they're getting to the high school levels. And I want them to have opportunities past high school, and for women, there's no way around it. You're gonna have to go freestyle or graphic, like that's just it. So how, what's a good way to transition in an area that freestyle is sparse?
I would say just start showing them the similarities, right? It's not so different, right? A high crotch is a high crotch, a single leg is a single leg. Start showing them the transitions from, like, I'm in a double leg and I'm taking someone down. How can this turn into freestyle leg? Maybe there's some things that don't have to change. I can go to a leg hand Turk and attack just like we would have in the folk style match, right? That's gonna work in freestyle, right? Maybe then we transition that. Well, if we can't get the Turk and he belly down, go ahead and belly down. Can I keep the legs and turn this into a lace, right? So I think you gotta show them that this is not so different, right? I mean, there's differences, of course. They don't have to get out from underneath. I can lock my hands on top, but this is not so different. We can use for a while, we can use Turks and chicken wings and arm bars and things like that, just like we have in the folk style season, right? And we can start with there. I mean, Japan is, has been our thorn in the side forever, right? They do all kinds of arm bars, chicken wings and things like that. I mean, up until recently, they started doing the leggings, right? And so I would show them the similarities more, right, of folk style, freestyle, and those kind of transitions from takedown to turn, than I would trying to explain the differences. Right? I would show them the similarities. Yeah, the differences in scoring and how we score this and that, and rolling across your back is 2. You don't have to hold them there, but I think that can be a fun change for them too, right? And maybe a little less pressure on it as well.
Well, our team won the state title in folk style, and we went to freestyle, one and got blistered. They didn't think that was fun.
No, winning, losing isn't fun, right? But I think if we can help them learn from the situation, well, where did we get beat? Let's talk about where we got beat, right? And maybe it's parterre and just showing the defensive stuff there instead of worrying so much about scoring points. Can we stop points from being scored? Right? Can we stop points? And so I would say break it down from that angle as well.
If it helps, we're having the same problem in Southern Utah right now too.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of stuff online too, like, you may not be experts, but you can find Jordan Burroughs teaching technique, you can find, all of these guys, they post stuff online, so they're showing legit technique, and then just start having your girls do it on each other and kind of go from there. Like, you guys, know a lot more about freestyle than you give yourself credit for.
One thing that I do during the high school folk style season is we have kind of our practice layout through the week, Monday through Thursday. And especially if we're gonna have a tournament on Saturday, I like to give my girls time to be able to work on what they wanna work on. So we call it Freestyle Fridays, and we'll actually play with a little bit of freestyle technique on that day as well.
Questions? Any other questions?
When you're teaching hand fighting,
Yeah.
just real quick, high school kids a lot of times have a hard time learning hand fighting. What are the concepts you talk about when you're talking about hand fighting? Not just clearing ties, but
I would say just a couple things. I mean, to get a tie, I'm moving forward. I always talk about that. I'm moving forward to get a tie. Once I have a tie, I'm using it. I'm pulling, right? I'm coming into an underhook, and I'm pulling and changing the direction. So start to get that, like pressure in to get something, pressure in to grab something, right? Whether it's 2-on-1, whether it's wrists in here, grabbing in on wrists, coming back in to an underhook. I would say that, number one, pressuring to get the tie. Once we get this tie secured, Once we grab anything, then pull, then be heavy. It could be coming inside, it could be coming, go inside tight, now I'm heavy. Now, he pulls up and now I can shoot, right? That's enough of a hand fight,
Yeah.
right? So, I would say that. I would say focus on the change of direction and the change of side to side. Just, again, just flowing. 2 on 1, he reacts. 2 on 1, he reacts. 2 on 1, he reacts. Ready. Right? Maybe it's 2 on 1, he reacts. There's an underhook. He's gonna react. There's an elbow tie. There's my 2 on 1. There's your wrist tie. Just flowing from side to side. Let him flow a little bit. I would say going side to side like that. And then really, I started off with the defense. He collar checked me. How am I getting rid of this? Where am I going? Right? So that's, how do I start the hand fight? How to start to learn and deal with it? What am I doing with it? What do I want?
Yeah.
Right? So many kids, they're out here like this. What do you want from this? I don't know. Why are you doing it? I don't know. Okay? Someone else did it. I saw them do it, right? But why are they doing something? Help them be a little bit more mindful of why they're doing what they're doing, right? So I think if you can start just from a defensive perspective, he grabs me. What are you doing with this? Why are you doing it? Okay, I want to come to a 2 on 1, coach. Okay, well, why are you coming to a 2 on 1? Right? Well, I want to get to my high crotch. Okay. Can we get to your high crotch? Right? So I think always lead the tie or the reaction of the tie back to a tie, back to an out. Right? So, but I would start it off for the ties. Okay, this guy's grabbing my wrist. I don't know what to do. Use it. Right? Use it. You don't have to clear it to use it. Right? You don't have to clear it to use it. Just attack it into something. Right? So I think, yeah, I don't focus so much on the hand fight itself than the reaction to someone else's attack. Right? And then I can start, then I think once they start to understand that concept, then start to play with what happens when I grab here. At some point, he's going to do something with that other arm. Right? And that's what we talked a little bit about earlier. If I'm attacking one side, or I'm playing with one side, the attack is probably going to be on the other side. Right? So it's not necessarily going to be on the side we're attacking. But what's on the other side? What's the reaction? I'm not getting a 2 on 1 to hold a 2 on 1. I'm getting a 2 on 1 for a reaction. Right? For a reaction. The 2 on 1 doesn't score points. The reaction. So that's where I would focus on that more.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I think that's all I have. Again, thank you all for what you do. Don't underemphasize the importance of what you do. And remember, and you've heard this many times, right? But the kid that you don't need needs wrestling. The kid that you don't need in that room is never going to win for you, right? That's the kid that needs you. That's the kid that needs this sport. That's the kid that needs to learn how to deal with struggle and failure right here. So you can help them pick them back up again. Right? So yeah, focus on your state champions and focus on your national champions. But don't let that kid walk out the door that is never going to win a match for you. That's the kid that you need. You don't need him. He needs you. They need you. Right? That's what this is about. And I know you wouldn't be sitting in this room if it wasn't. Right? And I know that it's not about medals and championships within this room. I know you're dealing with parents than it is about medals and championships. Right? I know that. But just remember, those kids that are in your room and can't walk and chew gum, man, put your arms around them, wrap them up and don't let them go, right? Because those are the kids that you're making a very big difference. They don't have something at home that they're missing, right? You can be that person. So understand the importance of your job, right? Understand that you are making a difference, right? And that's coaching, right? We're not in this for medals and champions. Yeah, of course we want to win. Of course we want to go to Paris and beat everyone's butt. But there's far more important reasons, right? Those are going to be fading moments, right? Historic moments, but fading, right? So the other reasons are far more important. So just understand that. And the other thing, just know that we're always here. National staff is here to help you, right? And so you can reach us by our emails, our phone numbers, right? We're here to help you, help us, right? You're helping the next kids, the next generation of leaders, the next generations of champions on the mat, of successful people off the mat, right? And we need you out there, right? We need you more than anything. We can't do this, what we do, right, without your help and assistance with the kids that you have in your room. So, thank you.
Thank you.